Creativity is an addiction. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally uncut because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Stream thinking. It's learning how to trust what's in your present. Now, to get there is going to take a lot of practice and a lot of trust and faith. One sheet of paper every day, just 10 minutes. Write about whatever is moving through your presence of what is right now, with absolutely no judgment. Stream thinking sharpens your skills as a listener, a communicator, and an activator. Learning how to trust what is right now. This is Stream Thinking. Today we're reading from May 13th, 2023. Google has just released information about their new search engine being hooked up to amazing AI technology. Now, the question that I have is, how many everyday average people know what any of this means? Especially since it was just recently reported that Russia is using AI technology to interfere with elections in NATO countries. It's hard not only to digest this, but it's very difficult to set it aside for future consumption. A man of his 60s was recently blown away by Apple Pay. He calls it another step toward the paperless generation. And then he followed it with this question: are we ahead of the curve? Or are we behind? I mean, didn't SpaceX just recently send up an unmanned ship beyond Earth? Unmanned versus Apple Pay. Who's the leader in this rat race? And how can it spoil the outcome of the way people vote? There's way too much information to consume here. But the thing about it is, where do we begin the conversation? It's almost like we are in a sci-fi movie. We are the extras. We're watching all of this technology take place. And it's like we're sitting inside a movie theater watching everything unfold. Tom Cruise's movie, Mission Impossible, deals with AI technology at a level that is just absolutely mind-blowing scary. But I was recently with an expert on AIs, and he says the problem is that people think that robots are going to take over. And he goes, the reality of the moment is that they can't even create a battery that lasts longer than 40 minutes in the average robot. He says there's nothing to worry about. AI technology is very smart, and it's helping us in a more positive way rather than a negative way that movies and TV shows are showing. But as that extra in this sci-fi film, because that's exactly what we feel like, you've got to ask yourself, where do we start the conversation? Because if you don't start it, if you don't start doing your own real research and not what's been clickbait all over your Facebook and other social media outlets, what's going to happen is that you're going to step away because you're going to get too much information and get burned out on it. But the craziest thing about life is that when you transition, the continuation continues. That means that those that you brought into the world are going to have to face what you no longer have to. So as that extra in this movie, and you know you're not getting paid to be an extra in this sci-fi film, the question is, where do you begin the conversation? And how do we learn as a community versus science taking on what we assume? I'm Arroe, and that's Stream Thinking.